You've been waiting quietly, haven't you? Not just for someone to show up, but for someone to show up with honor. You don't want half-effort or shallow words. You've outgrown that. What your soul craves is sacred recognition, not empty attention. And no, God hasn't forgotten you. He heard every silent cry you never dared to speak aloud, every whispered prayer under your breath, every time you looked strong but felt unseen. He saw you, even when you didn't feel worth noticing. You thought maybe something was wrong with you, that maybe love was something you were supposed to earn, fix, or force. But hear me, your heart is not broken, it's being refined. And the wait isn't punishment, it's preparation. The one who's coming, he won't be confused by your strength or intimidated by your softness. He'll recognize both as holy, because God isn't just sending you a partner, he's sending you a protector, a mirror, a soul with hands built to hold without harm. You were never meant to be an option, you were always a promise. But promises take time, and when heaven is the one doing the arranging, timing becomes sacred. Trust that. Even now things are aligning, quietly, perfectly, divinely. Don't settle because you're tired. Don't shrink because you're lonely. The kind of love you were created for doesn't require you to become less. It calls you into more, and more is coming. You've loved people who didn't know how to love you back. That wasn't your failure, it was their limitation. But what's ahead of you isn't confusion or chaos, it's clarity, it's peace, it's love that won't ask you to beg. He's being prepared too, you know. The one. He's learning how to lead with humility, to speak with gentleness, to cherish without conditions. You don't see him yet, but his name has already been whispered into the plan. Sometimes delay is mercy, because if he had arrived earlier, he might have mishandled what you fought so hard to protect. But now he's growing. So when he comes, he'll meet the woman who no longer questions her worth. You don't have to perform. You don't have to convince. The love that's being written into your story will be drawn to your presence, not your pretending. Rest in that, and while you wait, live, laugh, heal, build a life so full of light that when he enters, he doesn't complete you. He joins you, because you were never incomplete, just waiting for someone equally whole. God is not late. He is intentional. And though your timeline may feel silent, his timing is never empty. Sometimes what feels like delay is actually divine orchestration. There is a difference between being looked at and being seen, and the one who is coming, he will see you in ways you didn't even know you longed to be seen. And when he speaks, you won't feel small, you'll feel safe. You've watered gardens that never bloomed. But this next season, the soil is ready, and when it grows, it will grow fast. Because what God authors, he accelerates. Let yourself believe again, not in fantasy, but in faith, in a love that honors process, a connection that doesn't rush, a man whose spirit has been prepared, just like yours. It won't be perfect, but it will be protected, covered in grace, guided by prayer, and held in the hands of someone who knows what it means to fight for something sacred. You didn't wait for nothing. Every tear has planted something eternal, and soon you'll see the beauty that came from the seasons you almost gave up. Let your heart rest tonight. You're not forgotten. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're exactly where you're meant to be, for something real, something holy, something that will hold. And when he comes, you'll recognize him, not because he completes you, but because he'll speak the same language your soul has been whispering all this time. I see you, I choose you, I'm here. The ache you carry isn't just loneliness, it's longing for something divine. Your soul was designed to recognize him, not chase him. And that's why settling has always felt wrong. Because deep down you know, the one meant for you doesn't require you to disappear to be loved. He's not delayed. He's being made ready, in places you can't see, in ways you couldn't imagine. His heart is being softened, shaped, stretched. God isn't just giving you a man, he's giving you a man after his own heart. You're not waiting to be chosen, you were already chosen. Heaven set this in motion long before you knew how to pray for it. But sometimes, the space between promise and fulfillment is where you learn how to hold yourself. What you're walking through now is not punishment, it's preparation. You're being strengthened so that when love arrives, it doesn't shake you, it joins you. And you don't have to start over, you just have to open your arms. He'll know what it means to stay, not because life is easy, but because love, when it's real, doesn't flee at discomfort, it roots deeper. He'll have hands that don't just touch but cover, and eyes that see the fire in you and don't flinch. Every heartbreak you've endured has been shaping your discernment. You won't be fooled by surface-level charm anymore. You'll recognize the one who was sent by the peace he brings, not the attention he offers. You're not being overlooked, you're being reserved. Heaven doesn't hand over something sacred to someone who won't hold it sacredly. And your heart, it's sacred. Holy ground. The one who enters must remove his shoes. You'll know it's him not by how loud he shows up, but by how calm he makes your soul. He won't interrupt your growth, he'll inspire it. He won't demand your trust, he'll earn it with consistency. You're not late to love, you're just early to healing. And that healing is building the home where your soulmate will one day rest. A home made not of walls, but of truth, safety, and quiet joy. Stop apologizing for wanting depth. That longing in your heart for something lasting and spiritual is not a weakness. It's a compass, and it's leading you straight to what was written for you from the beginning. He's dreaming of you too, you just don't know it yet. Somewhere out there, his spirit is being stirred, his heart is being awakened. And whether he's conscious of it or not, something inside him is preparing for you. Your presence will feel familiar to him, like home. He won't know why right away, but something will pull him closer with peace, not pressure. And in that stillness, you'll both recognize something holy has arrived. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are being divinely hidden until the one who can see you clearly knows how to protect what he's been praying for. And when the time comes, nothing will stop it. No confusion, no fear, no resistance. Because what is meant by God cannot be missed by man. And what is aligned by heaven will always find its way. You won't have to lose yourself to be loved. You won't have to shrink your fire. The one who's coming will carry water, not to extinguish you, but to keep you burning without burning out. You've always been the answer. He just had to become the man who could receive you without running from your brilliance. And now, his journey is leading him there. Just as yours has led you here, there will be alignment, not just in affection but in purpose. You'll speak the same spiritual language, move toward the same vision, and love each other in ways that feel like healing, not hard labor. So breathe, you're not behind, you're not forgotten. You're being protected until your promise walks in, whole, steady, and ready to stay. And when he arrives, it won't feel like fireworks. It will feel like rest, like coming home to something you both only dreamed about until now. Because God didn't forget your heart, he honored it. And what's coming isn't late, it's right on time. There will come a day when you'll look back and thank God for every no you didn't understand. Because each delay wasn't a rejection, it was protection. You weren't being denied love. You were being guided toward a love that won't fracture under pressure. Right now, you're building the emotional foundation for something eternal. The next love won't ask you to compromise your values. It will meet them, honor them, and build on them. Because real love doesn't drain. It multiplies what's already sacred inside you. You used to feel like love had to be chased, like the right person would only stay if you proved your worth. But now, you're learning the truth. Love sent by God doesn't need to be earned. It arrives already anchored. Even the moments when you felt abandoned were part of the shaping. That ache inside your chest, it's been making room. Because when divine love enters, it needs space. Space your healing is now creating. You may not see it yet, but every layer of growth you're walking through is creating a magnet around you. A spiritual pull, one that calls to the man who's being drawn by the same light that's been rising inside you. He doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to be ready. Ready to meet you in vulnerability. Ready to lead in peace. Ready to see the real you and not flinch. And yes, he's getting there. Quietly, slowly, but divinely. You were never meant to settle for someone confused about you. The one who's coming won't hesitate. He won't treat your presence like a question. He'll treat it like the answer he didn't know he was praying for. And when he arrives, your spirit will know. Not from fear, not from fantasy, but from the calm that comes when the soul says, "This is safe." Not perfect, but purposeful. Not flawless, but chosen. You don't need 1,000 signs. You only need alignment. And when hearts are aligned with God, love doesn't have to shout. It speaks in the quiet. It builds without rush. It roots deep and grows with honor. You were not called to desperation. You were called to discernment. And now that you've stepped into your knowing, you no longer chase energy that depletes. You attract energy that recognizes, respects, and reciprocates. He's healing in the dark, just like you once did. Becoming, shedding the fears, unlearning the patterns, so that when he arrives, he won't bring wounds, he'll bring wisdom. Not a rescue, but a reflection. Every dream you've had of being fully seen was not fantasy. It was memory. Your soul remembers what it was designed for. And when your person comes, it will feel more like remembering than discovering. You don't have to fight for this. You don't have to break yourself to make space for it. You only have to stay rooted in who you're becoming. Because he's not coming for who you were. He's coming for the healed woman you're becoming now. So stop rehearsing the pain. Release the stories that tell you you're too much or too late. The truth is, you were always right on time. Just waiting for the one who wouldn't be intimidated by your depth. He won't be intimidated by your past either. He'll see it as proof of your strength, your softness, your survival. And instead of asking you to hide it, he'll thank you for carrying it with such grace. You won't have to ask for reassurance, he'll give it freely. Not just in words, but in consistency, in presence, in how he shows up again and again, not because he has to, but because he wants to. There's someone out there who's praying for a heart like yours, and just because you haven't met him yet doesn't mean he isn't real. It just means God is still writing the most important chapter of both of your stories. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being held back for the right reason, for the right person, and for the right season. And when it finally happens, you'll realize it wasn't about how long you waited. It was about who you became while waiting. Because what's coming isn't ordinary love, it's legacy. And you, beloved, are almost there. One day it will all make sense. The detours, the silence, the long nights wondering if your love was too big for this world. It wasn't too big. It was just waiting to be met by someone who could carry it, without trembling. The person meant for you won't flinch at your fire. He'll warm his hands by it. He won't be overwhelmed by your depth. He'll dive into it without fear. He won't ask you to dim your light so he can shine. He'll stand beside you just as bright. You won't have to shrink into the version of yourself someone else can manage. The one who's coming won't just handle you, he'll honor you. He'll want to see every layer of your soul and hold, each one with steady hands. He won't make you wonder if you're enough. He'll speak to the part of you that forgot how valuable you are. Not because you needed reminding, but because his presence will reflect everything you fought to become. It's not that you haven't been loved before, it's that you haven't been loved well. But that's changing, not just because of who's coming, but because of who you're becoming. You no longer settle for being half-held. He'll be drawn to your light, not just your beauty, your resilience, your spirit, your willingness to heal and keep your heart open anyway. That kind of woman is rare, and he'll know it when he meets you. Right now, the heavens are moving quietly, shifting timelines, aligning paths, so that two souls who've been learning separately will one day collide with a softness that feels like home. You won't question it this time. You'll feel it in your body, in the stillness of your breath when he enters a room, in the way your nervous system relaxes instead of flinches, in the peace that doesn't beg to be believed. This won't be the kind of love you have to fight for to prove it's real. It will be the kind that fights to protect your peace, the kind that sees storms coming and builds shelter instead of running. You're not too late. You're not too complicated. You're not too much. You're just the kind of woman who was always meant for something deeper. And that depth, it's not a flaw. It's a divine feature. He won't just love what he sees. He'll love what he senses. The way you carry your story. The way you forgive in layers. The way you still believe in goodness, even when life taught you otherwise. He won't interrupt your healing. He'll respect the space it takes, because he'll know that healthy love waits, it breathes. It doesn't demand or rush or manipulate. It honors the pace of peace. You'll be able to look at him and see not a rescuer, but a reflection. Someone who's done the work, who knows what it costs to be whole, and who's not afraid to love a woman who has scars. You'll stop questioning if this kind of love is real, because it won't feel like a fantasy. It will feel like fulfillment. Not butterflies, but grounding. Not adrenaline, but alignment. The ones before him weren't wrong for walking away. They just weren't equipped to hold what you carried. They weren't the ones meant to stay. They were there to teach you what not to accept again. And now, you're ready. Ready not just for someone, but for the someone. The one who doesn't ask you to return to who you were, but stands in awe of who you are now. He's closer than you think. You may not see his face yet, but every day your spirit is drawing him in. Every prayer, every moment you choose healing over bitterness, every act of self-love is a signal to the one who's aligned. You won't have to compete with the noise of the world to keep him. Because when love is divine, it listens in silence. It hears your heart before you speak. It holds space for everything you are. So keep going, keep healing, keep trusting. What's coming is not just a relationship, it's restoration. It's not just romance, it's remembrance. A love your soul knew was possible, and soon, your eyes will see it too. Thank you for receiving this message with your heart open and your spirit listening. You weren't drawn here by coincidence. Heaven aligned this moment just for you. Everything you've walked through has led you to this clarity, this peace, this sacred reminder. You are not forgotten, you are being prepared. If this message touched something deep inside you, confirm it now by writing, "I can do all things through him who strengthens me." Let it be your declaration of faith and your agreement with what's unfolding. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next word heaven sends to your heart. Because the angels are still speaking, and the next message may be the one you've been praying for. Until then, stay soft, stay expectant, and stay close to the one who's never let go of your heart. We'll see you in the next message.